Hey everyone, it's Hugh Sweeney here and welcome back to another video. Now, a couple of years ago, I made a video sharing with you, the viewer, my experience making my first short horror film. 500 people actually gave a thumbs up to that video before one person disliked it. So that really means a lot. And I also got a lot of messages and feedback and people contacting me saying, man, thanks so much for making that video. I learned so much. So it's only right that I do another one of these videos, what I learned from making a horror movie part 2. I've got a movie fired up here in front of me. It's a movie I made a while back. It's a little self-indulgent, stylized film that I made here in the apartment with just 2 actors and myself, and we had one or two of my friends involved in makeup and stuff like that. So I've got the movie fired up here on screen and I'm going to press play and I'm going to talk you through it and give you some of the tips that I learned from this. I'm going to also share with you some ideas, where I got my ideas from, and just basically chat about movie making and give you guys some tips. So let's do it, straight into it, okay? Now you'll notice straight away, right? This is what I call a kind of drawn out, stylized intro. I'm just gonna pause it there. We basically started out the movie with some flashing lights. Now, these flashing lights are from a train crossing down at where I live down here. Now, I wasn't going to put these in the movie, okay? They weren't going to be in the movie at all, in fact. But one day, when I was driving, when I was in the middle of editing it, weeks after I shot it, I was stuck here and I was looking at these lights and it just popped in my head how, you know, the rhythm of these lights would be a cool way to start the film. I'm going to share with you my first tip: procrastination. Let it be your best friend. If I had edited that movie on time, I would never have put this in. But now this movie has this sort of rather cool intro. What I did here was I masked off the lights in After Effects and I let them just alternate over and back, and I timed it with the music. Now, if you listen to the music, this is very important. This movie is a very self-indulgent, stylized sort of short film that's very much based on the type of movies that I love. And those type of movies are the sort of 80s vintage, John Carpenter style movies. So music is a big thing. The drone synth, you've got the drone synth going with the lights, and it's a bit like an intro from an old stylized horror movie. Do you hear that drone? Sweet. Love that. The font here, notice that? Check out the font. Very sort of messed up. A bit too messed up maybe. But it goes with the music and it goes with the lights. Okay. So we got a first scene here. I can see all the noise here. My God. Alright, this is Abigail. I'll get to the actors soon. But Abigail goes out on the balcony. Watch this. She's looking at something, okay? So we see her here looking at something on the left, and in the distance here we're getting lovely use of bokeh. And watch her eyes follow a car coming up. So what we have here is a nice depth of field shot. I'm shooting as wide open as I possibly can. This was shot on the Blackmagic production camera here. We've got a bit of a light on her back here from inside. Not much light on the front because it was out on the balcony. She was very cold. This was shot in February. Now watch this. You remember the movie? The start of the movie had the lights going. The music is still going a little bit in the background. She's having a cigarette. Boom. We cut to the train. So originally when you watched this back at the start, you probably didn't know what the fuck these things were. But now you do. And you know that there's a train crossing near where she lives, okay? It means absolutely nothing, but it's a stylish shot and it's a deep shot. Look at the houses in the background here. Also look at the train itself. Now, one thing you notice about this, I got the sound of a train. The train comes in, bang, you get the sound of the train coming in straight away. Mini jump scare. Little bit of edginess there. And then it passes. Now you'll notice a bit of shakiness. Now the problem with the shakiness is it was quite windy out and I used a light tripod, okay? Now, I could have probably fixed that in post-production, but this camera has a rolling shutter. This was the Blackmagic Cinema camera, and it probably would have just made it look a bit too much jelly. So I just left the shakiness in there. Now, I'm just going to explain one thing. She finishes her cigarette, and then cut. Another shot of her partner inside the building, right? So what he's watching is a YouTube video, okay? And it is my YouTube video. So there's another tip for you. Introduce your own stuff. You know, I could have put on like a Halloween movie or, you know, Friday the 13th, one of these old school films, but instead of that, I put in my own movie with my own, watch this.
Christ.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Are you okay?
So what happens is he gets a jump scare on the screen and then she jumps up behind him, okay? Philip here is a guy that I got to know through Facebook. He had seen some of my stuff and we just got talking. He told me that he loves horror films and that if I ever wanted to do something, to give him a buzz. Now I was looking for a female actor, but he instantly got on to me. He says, I've got this girl, she's a great friend of mine and she'd love to do it. So I immediately didn't have the task of, you know, trying to find a female actor. So this girl lived close to him. Both of them traveled to me together. I didn't have any hassle of trying to find and audition a female part. So bear that in mind. That is another tip for you. Philip has tattoos on his arms of all these scary characters from the movies. He's got Freddy, he's got Hannibal Lecter, and he's also got more tattoos. You're going to see that in a while. That just shows you how enthusiastic this guy is about horror movies. It also looks friggin' cool, okay? So he's relieved. Now when she's cutting vegetables, just look at this shot. You know, we've got a little bit of depth going on. You know, we've got a bit of steam in the background. So, you know, it's just giving it a little filling up the shot. This is in focus. It's probably overexposed a little bit too much there on the highlights. But it's pretty okay. A little bit overexposed on her there. Okay, now just talk a little bit about music. I've did a bit of my own type of music, my own sort of drone synth sound in this movie. I did a lot of my own music, but I put in this nice kind of funky club music just to, you know, break you out of the story a little bit of funky music. And watch what happens. She's playing the music source. Cuts to him in the room. The music is EQ'd differently to show that, you know, he's in another room. And that sort of little EQ change in music also adds a little bit of distance, a little bit of separation. Quite spooky as well. Now, just look at the composition here. If you look actually closely, I think you might see me in the background, but nobody noticed it, right? So we're getting the tattoos, we're getting the scary faces of the tattoos. We have a lot of vertical lines. Plus we have this little sort of depth of field thing here going on with the pillar here. We've got a window open, you know, it's a little bit creepy. Now the color grading with this, I'll let it play. So then it just cuts, he's in the toilet. So she's in the kitchen preparing dinner. She had gone in, told him, you know, have your shower, I'm doing the dinner. Sexist. She's having her glass of wine. Now, okay, this story is very simple stuff, okay? I'm not gonna lie to you. Very, very basic, okay? She gets a message through Facebook. It's a bit of fun. One of the biggest reasons you should go for horror movies is you can get away with murder. I mean, if this was a drama or something and she was getting messages through Facebook, it'd be so dumb. But the fact that it's a horror movie, you can get away with lots of bullshit. So just bear that in mind. Okay. Okay folks, that's part one of my two-part horror movie tips analysis video. I hope you might have gotten some ideas or inspiration, or better still, learned from my mistakes. I'll have the second part of this video uploaded at the same time next week, so please come back and check that out, because I'll have some more good tips for you and be talking about things like gory makeup, macro close-ups, audio foley, and how to sort out those problematic clips that mightn't edit in so good and to give your movie continuity, plus lots of more good stuff. If you like filmmaking and all the creativity that goes into it, you might want to subscribe to this channel, so please feel free to do that, and big shouts out to all my subbers so far. That's all for now, folks. I will chat to you soon.